This ICS Impulse video is going to talk about Odo Suite V reporting of the data. So the first thing we're going to talk about is editing the report, and then we'll talk about review report options. So let's go into the software. So here I have the normal patient demo data pulled up. To get to the report, you just click on the report tab over here. First thing let's talk about is editing the report. So you have three options for entering information into the report. You've got symptoms, impressions, and macros. Symptoms are what symptoms did that patient come into the clinic with before you did the testing. Anything that you check, and there's a long list here of options, will show up on your report. So let's just check a couple so I can show this to you. The next thing is your impression. So after you've done the test, what is the impression? This is a quick, brief statement. It was within normal limits, or there's unilateral reduced vestibular function on the left lateral canal, or you can have a whole sentence. The head impulse was within normal limits. Let's add in a whole sentence. We'll add a macro and an impression to show you where they display in the report. So highlight your macro and click Insert. Let's also check within normal limits up here. Now to get them to show up on the report, you have two options. One, you can refresh. So after you select everything, then hit refresh and it'll pop up. Your other option is auto update. If you have that turned on, that means every time you check something, then it's going to automatically update the report. I personally like refresh. But then if we look at this report, and let's make it big so you can actually see it. So here it says symptoms, and it gives you the list of symptoms that were checked. Impressions within normal limits, and then findings. The head impulse was within normal limits. The other thing about the findings is you can come in here and type in whatever you want, and it'll show up under findings. So the macros just help it so that if you're going to be typing the same thing every time you see a unilateral left loss or unilateral right loss or a patient within normal limits, the macro lets you not have to retype that every single time. So you can just insert it in. Now, what you see in here is the default settings. You can always edit any of the symptoms, impressions, and macros. So if you click on symptoms here, you can go in and you can, if you wanted to say spontaneous nystagmus, then you can type that in and edit it. You can edit any of the things. You can create a whole new group. So a group would be like onset of symptoms or temporal course. You can add items. You can change the order. You can put in anything you want. The other thing is if you go to import, you will have a list of symptoms to choose from. And currently in the software they're available, this list is available in English, Spanish, French, Italian, and German. So you can pull up the symptoms in the language that's appropriate for your clinic. Let's hit cancel there. Same thing with impressions and macros. You just click on the button and then you can edit away. So all that you can customize for yourself. Now if you have more than one ICS Impulse system, it's best to customize one computer, then go under Symptoms, Impressions, and Macros and export that file. So then you can just import that file back in and you don't have to customize it for every single system that you own. So quick and easy. You've got a couple of things up here, just your typical tools, cut, paste, copy, bold, italics, underline, that you can use while typing in the findings. The other things up here is if you look at your report title, you can change the report title. You can save this report, print the report, create a PDF of the report, or set it up to be emailed to somebody. Let's go on to review report options. So here, the one thing you'll notice is if you're just doing a report on a single test session, you'll notice that everything fits on one page. So you have the head movements left and right here, and the eye movements left and right here, and your gain graph. It tells you your symptoms, impressions, and findings. It also tells you the date the test occurred, the operator, what the mean and standard deviation for the right gain and the left gains were. It tells you the date that the report was created and who created that report. And then we're going to talk about these other things about how you can put your facility information in and how you can decide what patient information is included. But before we get to that, let's talk about what's over here on the left-hand side. This is a list of all the reports done for that patient. So you can create multiple reports for that patient and all the reports are saved. This is the test sessions. So if that person was seen yesterday and then came back a week later, you would have all the test sessions. If you want to combine multiple test sessions into one report, you can do that. It probably won't all fit on one page, but you can say, here's the data from this date, and here's the data from the next date. Now, one thing you can include is the progress data. So that's the gain graph, and it's going to show the gains for the different test sessions that you've included. And we'll go ahead and click that and refresh just so you can see. But you would get another graph on the first page that would show all of the test sessions for you. And then if I scroll down, you see that now what you saw before is on page 2. You have the option of including the gain graphs, including the 2D impulse graphs, and any test remarks that you made in the software, you can include those as well. So let's deselect that. So pretty nice and simple. If you go under System Settings, and then let's go under Facility Information. This is where you need to enter in your facility information. Once you enter this in, then you decide what goes on your report, and you can also enter in a logo. So as far as information on the logos that you can bring into the system, you need to refer back to the user manual. And always remember, the user manual can be accessed right down here where it says User Manual. Under Report Settings, this is where you decide what of your facility information is included on the report, and this is what when you decide what of the patient information is included on the report. You want to choose what paper size you're using, A4 or letter, and then this is who is going to be included on the report, the person who actually performed the test, the person who collected the test data, or the person who generated the report. You can put both those people on or just one or the other. So those are all the options in the ICS Impulse report. And as you see, the report is nice, concise, easy to use, and gives you everything that you need.